Welcome, 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 welcome to another episode of Up Close and Personal with Angela. On behalf of Aspiring Authors Magazine, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. If you would do me one favor and share this in your circle of influence, you never know who may need what is going to transpire on the show tonight. I'm super, super excited. I get excited when I get the opportunity to share my fellow authors and creative artists on this platform, um, giving them an opportunity to educate, empower, and encourage. That's what we're doing through showcasing and sharing these 122 authors from around the world. They're not just here in South Carolina, here in Georgia, but they coming from all over the world. And we are connected and sharing our brands. So if you would please take this opportunity, share this with someone in your circle. For those that do not know who I am the queen of collaboration, Angela Thomas Smith. I am the founder of AAALAC, which is the African American Author Literacy Awareness Campaign. I'm also the CEO of Aspiring Authors Magazine, where my whole desire is to bridge the gap between brown authors all over this world and to touch on topics that's affecting our brown community that others don't want to talk about. So that's what brings me here today. So without further ado, I'm going to move out the way. Y'all know, because I can get to talking and I don't want to do that. I want to give this amazing king an opportunity to share about his amazing platform, all those things that he's doing. When I tell you he has his hand in a lot, he has his hand in a lot. And I want you guys to take this opportunity to get to know him. Let me move out the way and allow my king, ERVIN Middleton, to come forth. Welcome, 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 King. How are you?
Hey, Queen. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I can't complain. I won't complain. It does nobody no good to complain. So hey, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Awesome. I'm flying.
Well, I'll tell you, y'all know I love to follow my brown authors and I just love to support my brown community. And I see that you are doing some amazing things. Please jump in and share where you would love to share. I tell you, I see you. And if no one has told you, I'm proud of you. And I
Well,
see all the
thank you.
things that you're doing. So you keep pressing. You keep pressing. Um, but I'm turning it over to you because I want those that are tuned in and those that will tune in um, just have the opportunity to get to know you and to be able to support the amazing things that you're doing. So the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, Greetings, Earthlings. My name is Irvin Middleton Jr. Um, and this is how I want to start. So I'm going to show you all first how God has blessed me. Okay. This right here is the altar that I have set up. It started with my ministry, my ordination when I became a pastor, my book, my LLC, my business card, my crystals, and the scriptures. And then my daughter gave me some stuff to remind me to remember the inner me, the child in me. Now, I show you that not for applause. Of course, I love applause because I pat myself on the back all the time. I'm proud of myself. But I show you that to show what can be accomplished. Now I'm going to introduce myself the way that I always do and always have. And I've been told, don't do this. I've been told, don't share because not everybody is ready for your story. We see on television all the time and on the news all these wars and all this violence and everything that goes on, domestic violence, child abuse, this, that, the next. We see it on the news. somehow our minds are ready and we know about that. But when we actually are faced and encountered with somebody that has literally gone through war, it's unfathomable. So I go against the grain all the time. My name is Irvin Lanier Middleton Jr. When I was born, I was stuck under a picket fence. I don't know who found me or who gave me back, but I got back with my mother. At 3 years old, my mother beat me in the head with a baseball bat right here. It killed me. They brought me back and I was in a coma for 6 months. From 3 to 9 years old, I was beat, molested, abused by my mother, thrown out of a second-story window. She made me eat my own feces, drink my own urine. I was beat with everything because my mother was a prostitute. Her Johns had their way with me as well. At 9 years old, I was given up for adoption. I had to learn to read, write, walk, talk, everything all over again. I was mute for about 2 years. I could not speak. I had a bobby pin stuck in my ear until it bled, which messed up my hearing. So at 9 years old, I went into foster care. From about 9 to about 20, I was in the foster system. Oh, about 22 different foster homes, orphanages, many psychiatrists, every pill in the world, lots and lots of medicines all over. I came down in Charleston, South Carolina. I didn't even know I really had family. I knew I had a granny. I knew I had an aunt, but I really didn't know who they were. I met my father when I was 13 here in Charleston, South Carolina. I didn't even know I had one. I met a lot of my side of the family, my biological family. For the longest time, I just lived life, which I thought was just living. I went to school. I smoked cigarettes. My first cigarette was at 16 years old because of a girl with cat eyes. Always loved girls. Always loved women. By the time I was 10, I knew everything there was to know about sex. Unfortunately, it was by my mother, but I knew. What I did not know is what I came to find out years later, that I had mental illness. At 16, I was at MUSC, Medical University of South Carolina here in Charleston. And my grandmother, God rest the dead, at the time, was my foster mother because they became my foster parents. And I remember Dr. Janice Key and a couple other doctors telling me that I was diagnosed with plethora of things: PTSD, bipolar. Back then, it was just bipolar. PTSD, paranoid schizophrenia with high psychotic intentions. Years later, after being on Ritalin and this, that, the next, I found out that I still have more stuff, and it keeps going, kept going. I lived life as I was living it. What people saw on the outside was this bubbly, laughing, joking kid who made stupid decisions, brass decisions, slept with everybody, men and women, didn't care. And I did everything. Could never hold down a job, but I had many. Never have been without work or a job. Was always. I was raised in a house full of women. My granny, my aunt, my two cousins. I was the only boy. Everything I learned was from them. When it came to growing up more, I've been a musician in the church because that's where I started. When I was in my first foster home at 10 years old, I was put into what was St. Matthew's Episcopal Church. And I knew nothing about church, God, Jesus. I knew nothing. I was a child living, just going through. On my first foster home, which I should have been ecstatic because I came from Brooklyn and in the bricks of the streets in New York, where I was light skinned. So I was chased by dark skinned people because I was too light. When I got to my foster home, I was in love with my foster mom because, well, I was a horny kid. And I walked upstairs, and it was a little evergreen cedar brown piano that pretty much called me. I didn't hear it, but it called me. And it was a three-story house, big yard. Everything was gorgeous. Never seen a house before in my life. Also, I had never seen white people in my life. I'd only seen them peeking on television, watching Wonder Woman. I'd never been around white people, never seen them. A piano called me. I immediately just sat down and just stared. And I just started touching it. And then I just ran my fingers along it. And I just started playing. So I taught myself the piano, took lessons for a little while, and then that was it. Stayed with them for 3 years, Monday through Friday. On Saturdays and Sundays, I went to a place, what was called respite. For those that don't know, in foster care, I don't know if it's still that way, but Monday through Friday, you're with one set of parents. And on the weekends, you go to another to give them a break. So I've been lived with Black people, white people, Chinese people, Mexican people, rednecks, hillbillies, rock and rollers, stoners, preachers, non-preachers, crackheads, weed heads, all of them, everything, homosexuals, lesbians, all. And I'm glad because I'm well-rounded. Came down to Charleston, and from about 13 till I say 22, I just lived life. Didn't know how to live life. Wasn't given the manual, wasn't given the lessons on this, or I just lived life. Had sex, went to school, got expelled for drinking in high school. Didn't like high school. So all 3 lunches, I'd skip and go down to the food line because it was St. Andrews High School, and I'd steal cigarettes and bring them back and get paid to selling them to the kids at school. I don't know I had a hustle, but I did. Got so good I had 2 of my best friends were my secretaries. But me and school did not get along. Drayton Hall, I was picked on. Drayton Hall Middle, I was picked on because I had a mouth. A teacher actually threw a trash can at me, apparently through my mouth. And I was always chased because I was either too light for the Black people, and well, the white people saw something, I don't know what. Middle school, high school, didn't last. Apparently I was getting in fights and all kinds of things. And so high school, I left and went to night school. Me and night school didn't get along either. And now all of this is leading up to some things, to why and where and the end result. I was never taught how to be a dad, how to be a father. I was taught how to have sex. I was taught how to hate. I was taught how to judge, but I was never taught how to be a parent. That literally was by trial and error only. Never saw, because where I lived, there was just me and my granny and my aunt and my cousins. I had no father figure. The adults that the father figure, the male figures that I took to were my neighbors across the street. And I loved them. They were musicians. And on Friday nights, I was across the street with them in a band, the Fifth Avenue Projects. That's what we were called. My Uncle Myron, he was the baddest guitar player that I know, God rest his dead. Ivan was the trumpet. DJ Act Fool, shout out DJ Act Fool. And it was us, music. I want to backtrack because at 11 years old, I had a dream. The only dream that I actually remember where I was supposed to be. It was me, and I was in the center of drums, keyboards, saxophones, trumpets, violins, just me. I'll never forget that dream. So years later, fast forward, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, living. I go to high school. I meet my first wife. We do what we do. Um, Child comes along. Oh, I'm pregnant. Okay. Hey, I didn't know what to do, but something in me just clicked into daddy mode. Uh, and I did what I could, when I could, how I could. But in Charleston, South Carolina, she was white, I was black. And when I got to Charleston, that's when I was reminded, you're black. Actually, I was told you're black because I did not know that I was a color or a race. I just knew I was me. My name was Lanier. They called me Toot. I was like, no, my name is not Toot, because I carried around a little red train. My name is Lanier. I remember that. I went through marriage, was not cool. There was domestic violence. I had anger issues, among other things. Had no clue. Dealt with the first child not being mine, which I felt some type of way. I didn't know what I felt, but I knew that moving forward, it wasn't going to be easy. Had more kids, had more sex, lived more life, went to jail a couple of times, smoked weed, smoked cigarettes, did me. And I say me because this is my story. And I lived it. And I've had even family members say, I wish you wouldn't say that. That's not true. This isn't true. Which is what I hate when somebody says, oh no, that's far-fetched. So to continue, I wasn't an all the time there dad. I wasn't there all the time. I was still learning how to be a parent. And I was a hoe. I was jumping around. I could not keep still. Women literally was my drug. I could quit everything else. And I kept saying it. Probably everything else in the world I could quit. But women, even though I probably should have hated women for what happened to me, but I didn't. I tried to be as good a dad as I could. And it didn't always work. I was a good dad when I was there, but I wasn't always there. I tried. It didn't happen. So in 2000 and I want to say 12, I was on child support because with my son, they had put up this thing, so I was a deadbeat dad because I wasn't paying my child support. And I wasn't really all the time their dad. And I tried to split up my time between trying to hold down a job and be a dad, everything. Didn't know none of this, but I tried it. So in 2010, child support was knocking on my door, heavy. I had no idea why it was so heavy. But before I go right there, a month prior, I tried to actually, I was getting a job as a skip tracer. For those that don't know what a skip tracer is, whenever you change your phone number or move and years later they find you, I was that guy that tracked you down, skip tracer. So I have the supervisor on the phone, about to get the job, got the job. And a voice comes on the phone and says, hi, I'm the devil. And every time you try to succeed, I'm going to be there to make you fail. I put on a speakerphone so the woman that I was with could hear it too. And the supervisor cut and said, what's going on? Is this a joke? Sir, I don't know what's going on. The voice again, I'm the devil. Every time you try to succeed, I'm going to be there to make you fail. So fast forward, I leave Charleston because child support is beating down my neck. And at that time, it's still going on, but at that time, I was one of the black men that they just started beating up on. They started picking on black folk for no reason. And I was one of them. So I left because I couldn't fight from here. I went to Seattle running from the law. And I stayed there and I went through psychiatry, medication, started working on my healing while still trying to live life, still working on my healing, working on my healing. I stayed there for about 16 years. My granny said, don't come back or they'll kill you. I really, because I was a musician in the church, I've read the Bible and I tried to pray and this, that, but things for me were always different, always different because of what I've been through. I found out I could make a hustle. I could make money playing music in the church. Sweet. Awesome. It was years later when I was in Seattle that I started doing my own research. And I dug up stuff from my past, and found out in Seattle, diagnosed DID, schizophrenia, bipolar 1 and 2. I had seizures all of my life. And if you don't know what DID is, think of the movie Split or Me, Myself, and Irene. Or take Tyler Perry's Medea, where he plays all different parts. Hi, that was me. I did not know that. I did not know I had all of these issues with all of it. Because I'm high functioning, I don't look like it. And that's always been my pet peeve with people, is that it doesn't look like. I just caught back to Charleston a year and a half ago. Now, there's a whole lot in between there that happened. I was on both sides of domestic violence. My first wife, she called me a nigger. I tried to kill her. Actually, she called me a nigger and said, that's why your mama did all this. So I did. I tried to kill her. It's only domestic violence that's on my thing. I went to anger management class, but that wasn't it. I made it a point, especially when I went to Seattle, to find out what was wrong with me. Why is it I couldn't hold down a relationship? Why is it I'm sleeping with this one, that one? Why is it I'm getting along great with children, but I'm not a permanent dad? I'm not always there, but I would always wind up with a family. Why is it everywhere I go, there'd be a mother, a family, but I didn't have family? My family got paid to keep me. So it wasn't the same thing. I tried to fit in, but I did not fit in. I was made to struggle. It was handed, given, taught everything. This. I had to get out there and be a man. A man doesn't cry. A man doesn't this. A man doesn't that. A man doesn't this. A man doesn't that. But I did. But after a while, I stopped crying. I stopped feeling, I stopped crying. But I was always 1,000 with everybody. I kept it 100, 1,000. I tried lying. I tried cheating. I went to prison for lying on a piece of paper. So I couldn't lie because literally, apparently the universe said, no, you're not lying. So I started telling the truth, whether it hurt or not. I didn't care because my freedom had been taken. That's the only, I think, sensible thing I did was that. Was I won't say perfect because to me, and there's going to be a lot of people that say, oh, no, no, no. I've always said I'm perfect. Because if we come from a perfect being, perfect, the Almighty doesn't make imperfections. He just makes his creation, period. Whatever state that you're in, whoever you are at that time, that's you. Now, society paints this, well, you should be doing this by this age, and you should be doing this, and you should have, this is your calling, and this is that. Wrong. That's society. What's society? But the Creator gave us all 10 fingers and 10 toes, 2 eyes, nose, 2 ears. And technically, we are all many different people because we are made up of a mom and a dad, then us. So we all have 3 in 1, period. And yes, you'll find that I will go off on different subjects. I am exactly all of that. Bipolar, the works. That's me. And I don't hide it. I've learned to embrace it. Why? Because it makes me me. I got back in Charleston a year and a half ago, going through a divorce. I was up there living, playing music, trying to, again, find me. And as much as I try to take medicine, this, that, next, taking medicine, the side effects were horrible. It would mess with my body. But I got over the anger. It took years, but the angry part subsided. Still working on it. Still got a few issues, triggers or whatever. But everything was different for me because mine came from a baseball bat. So I don't know how other people are supposed to look for anybody. I don't know. Over the years, I died 7 times. Started on crack when I was in Seattle. Never had it. Killed me first time. Boom. Came back, kept doing it. I found that crack made me have sex lots. I was already a sex god. It just so yeah. Had a cancer scare in Seattle, so got the skin tag on my butt because I was smoking cigarettes forever. I went to the doctor one time just for whatever reason I forget, and the doctor said you have black nodes on your lungs. This is cancer starting. If you stop now, we can go ahead and put you in radiation, and we can go ahead and see what we can do now. But you got to stop smoking now. I quit smoking, and again, one of the sensible things I did, I stopped. So hey, I beat cancer. One of the things somebody told me when I said that was, "You didn't have cancer." Yes, I did. So anyway, I got back to Charleston a year and a half ago after I was going through a divorce there, domestic violence there, where I was actually the victim of domestic violence and I did not know it. A lot of things I went through, I did not know that I was actually in the middle of mental abuse, physical abuse, spiritual abuse. I did not know it because I've always been me. I love. That's what I do. Period. Nobody that knows me can say that I've done anything else but love. Cheated, sex, yeah. And I found out later, and even from my family members were telling me, "Oh no, you was this person. Yeah, you were this person." I started naming them my angels instead of my altars. I had 17 of them. Apparently, I had more. So through my life, I was literally different people. And because I also had seizures, I didn't remember a lot. I wrote a song where in my song it says, "My grandma will call me stupid and dumb." And she would. "You're stupid. You're dumb." I'm a kid. I didn't really take any of it. It wasn't until years later I started telling my story and it would touch people. People were like, "That's wrong. That wasn't supposed to happen." But for years I thought it was my fault. Even to this day, because I learned about accountability. I still, because it's in my body, it is me. I take accountability for, okay, I wasn't always there as a dad. I didn't hold down a job. I went to jail. I smoked cigarettes. I did this. Yet I'm one of the best, friendliest, loveliest people you'll ever know. Literally, because I am love. Period. I got back to Charleston a year and a half ago. I only came back for love. That is it. The first time I came was to see my son Dominic graduate. I didn't tell anybody he was coming. This time when I came for one reason only. I was going through a divorce in Seattle. I said I didn't want anybody else. I didn't want a rat, cat, dog, snake, nothing. My childhood girlfriend and best friend popped up on my Facebook. I hadn't seen or heard from her in 17 years. And she just popped up. And we just started talking, not dating, talking, catching up. Because we used to get together over the past 20 years, get together, have sex, separate, get together, have sex, separate. This time I was like, I'm going to go find out what this is about. So I did. Uh, and I was on my grind. I was going through a divorce and filed my paperwork, had me a job. And in Seattle, I was making $20 an hour at a temp service driving a forklift. I couldn't keep a job there neither, but I had a hustle because they had studies and things. So I came down, I drove through the fires that were in Oregon and Washington, literally drove through fire, hopped on a plane, did not know how I was going to get to Charleston. I was going to drive. I was in my little Honda. They had paper plates because in Washington, they have paper plates, so you can get away with that. But mine were expired. So I got pulled over in Montana, the whitest part of Montana. And white people, I know y'all listening to, I love y'all to life, but listen, it was the literally whitest part of Montana because I literally was a speck of pepper. Every face that saw me was white. And no, that's not racist because, like I said, my first wife was white. I've been with white, black, I've been with everybody. But when I found out I was Black, it kind of did something. So now people started looking at me different. So my best friend and now wife got together with my aunt and they got me a plane. Well, first they got me a cab, which had to be like $150 because there was no cabs in Montana, the part that I was at. No cab service, nowhere. And when I got pulled over because of the tag, policeman said, I can't let you drive. Now I'm going to go away. If you take the chance and drive, I don't know what's going to happen. Normally, I would be that guy to take that chance because I'm a driver. I used to drive cab. I'm a driver. There's nothing I can't drive, and I don't care about speeding and getting away because I done got beat down by the police. I done ran from them. No, I'm not a thug. I don't. That's not in me. It's just not in me. I don't. But what I do have is a voice and legs, and I don't fight because there is no middle ground with me. Either I love you or you have to die. And I think when I first became a father, that began instilling in me, and I grew and grew and grew and grew. And the more I grew, I became more of a protector. So I protected everybody. So I'm a protector. My voice is powerful. My presence literally shakes the earth. But anyway, I came back for love. It was hell. I did not want to come back to Charleston because I escaped Charleston literally with my life. But while I was there, I paid off my child support, which I could come back at any time. But my granny, who was 80 something years old, said, do not. When your elder, your ancestors looks at you and says, don't, and there's a lot of young folk out here that still do, don't. They mean that. I did come back for my son's graduation and I saw my granny. It was a glorious time. My son graduated. I saw my granny. My granny used to watch him. I did not know it would be the last time I saw her, but she was smiling. It was great. So I came back for love. On the grind of doing things because I had nothing. I literally had just got stripped to Montana. I had a book bag with a shirt, 2 pants, and some shoes, which is exactly what I wound up in Seattle with. So I came back with the very same thing. I had nothing, literally. I was on disability though, because in Seattle, again, I did my own healing. I went here, well, not my own, I had help. But I got into some healing. I got on disability. I started doing what I could. I even went to law school and learned some things there. So when I came back, my wife now said, don't do anything. Take care of yourself. But me being a goal, I can't stop. I've never heard take care of yourself because I've spent my life trying to care for so many other people. And I got loved back, but people that were loving me also knew that I had this mental illness going on. I did not know, but everybody around me knew. And I'm going to hit on that in a little bit. So I came back. I got a job at Save-A-Lot, which hurt me to my heart because I went from making $20 an hour to $9. That hurt me. That hit me. But before all that, I got my disability transfer down here, my Medicaid, everything. So I was taking care of myself, but I told her, I was like, nah, give me this bill, because I'm not, I come with my own. I ain't just come with my hand out. That's not me. I tried it. Literally, I tried it in Seattle. I was homeless, had a sign that was singing. To me, I look bad. This guy looked at me, he said, you don't even look homeless. He put $2 in my shoebox. That day, I was like, I will never do this again. My hands will not be out. I don't like asking for help as it is. And unfortunately, that's a blessing and a curse because I have built up this, I got it. It was instilled in me, hey, you're a man, you can do this. And I took that and said, you know what, I got this. And then being spiritual, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I took all that literally. So whatever it was, people look at me, why you try that? Because I can do it. And you may not succeed to you, but I can do it. So I did it. So in a year and a half, in the midst of COVID, mind you, I come down, getting the job at Save-A-Lot, go along the way. Get a job at the Citadel, go along the way. And I'm going, and I'm going, and I'm going, and I'm going, and I'm going. Mind you, I'm getting beat down left and right, and so is my wife from other things, but it's called life. Still going, still going, still going. I did not know that my wife and Miss Angela was connected. I knew nothing about the literary world. I wanted to be a musician. That's what my dream was. That's what I always wanted. I played in some bands, did this. That's what I wanted. I even did acting and modeling in Seattle. So everything that I do now, if anybody pays attention to my Facebook, is because I didn't get lucky. I've been on this grind. So I came down here, and one day my wife said, when I first came down, she gave me a journal. And she just said, why don't you write? So I did. I started writing poems because I always loved poetry. That's how I got women. When I was in prison, yes, I went to prison too. I was writing love letters and love poetry for the inmates there, for the men there, because they didn't know how to talk to their women. I did. I got you. In prison, jail, I read Solomon, the Songs of Solomon. Oh yeah, I was like, oh, dude was a pimp. And that was me. I was a pimp. Literally broke, but I was a pimp. So came down, going, started writing, going, jumped into another church because again, I could play, making money. I was being me. Now in Seattle in 2018, I just started calling myself, I'm Pastor Middleton. I'm Pastor Middleton because I am Irvin Middleton. I am the grandson of Pastor Pearl Middleton and Elliot Middleton, son of Irvin Lanier Middleton Sr. of the Middleton. Blondell B. Henry is my granny. Both sides of my family literally run the East Coast, all over the East Coast, West Ashley, downtown North Charleston, Waimala, Johns Island, James Island, and go on up to New York, the Bronx, Brooklyn, all of it. My family is huge, huge. And those of y'all, if you ever heard the name Butter, I'm his son. Yes, I'm Butter's son. I sure enough am. So my family's huge, like literally huge. So there's a lot of times when people, they be talking about me or in my face or this, that, and the next. And I sit back and like, you don't know who I am. And when I approach people, I approach everybody with love. I drive Uber now. So I approach everybody with love because I am love. And I took years to get to the point where this part here is a little bit more functional. So I started writing. I was writing at Save-A-Lot. And then my wife, who was connected to Miss Angela, Angela saw one of my poems and she's like, can you start writing for me? And I did not know that she would start putting me in magazines. So I started writing and I sent them to her. She started requesting, hey, she liked it. Can I get some more? I kept feeding her. And I'm in magazines here. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? And then started growing more and growing more and growing more. And then I'm on podcasts with Angela and then podcasts with this. And then I'm doing this. And it's like, wait a minute, really? You mean the thing that I used to get girls, I could have been doing the whole time? So I'm going. Caught COVID twice, got in 2 car accidents, had a couple of jobs. At the Citadel, I was a chef there. I was also doing Uber Eats. And still going. Got to this church, was playing. Like I said, in 2018, I just started calling myself pastor. Got to this church in Goose Creek, and Apostle Rosita Simmons, she looked at me and she said, I'm going to make you a pastor. I didn't ask for it, people. I said it. But we'll get more into that in a little bit. So, boom, got ordained. I'd already taken the ministry in Seattle. I just said it. Didn't want it, just said it. So I started doing it. I wrote in November of last year. My wife works for the library down here. They said, we want to give you a book signing. I didn't have a book. I'd had a book. I'd been writing in my journal poems. I had no book. So they're like, we want to give you a book signing. And they set the date, and it was set in stone. Boom, this time of this time. Again, I had no book that I could see. So I started reaching out. Actually, I didn't really have to reach out far at all. I had plenty of people help me out in learning how to create a book that I could market and sell. And so I was writing. My wife helped me out with Microsoft. Miss Angela gave me some pointers. And Georgia Nubia, if y'all don't know her, she's awesome creator, artist, spoken word poet, just everything. She helped me out as well. Lots of people. I can't name all the names because honestly, I don't know who all helped me, but there was a lot of people involved in helping. And that's where this came from. This is my book. It's called Uncontrollable Control. For one, mental illness is uncontrollable. You can manage it, but you cannot control it. I don't care what nobody tells you. You can manage it. Health, eating, mind, medication, this, that. You can manage, but controlling, because it's always there. So the book, I thought of a tornado, because you can't control a tornado, yet it's controlled. And the fedoras, I love fedoras. Oh my God, I love fedoras. I have a wall. I've got so many, and I'm still collecting. I love fedoras. So the book, Uncontrollable Control, came out. And it was my entire year of love and going through this and going through this. And I took everything that was up here, I just was writing about it. And I just put it in the book. Different subject, different things. If you get the book, it's everywhere. It talks about coffee. It talks about love. It talks about everything. And these were all of my personalities or my angels all writing. And that was a door opener. I was like, wow, I got a book. Like I literally have an actual book. And I did not know there was the literary world in Charleston was so huge because I wasn't paying attention to it. And that's probably why it was so huge. I wasn't paying attention. I was chasing tail. What can I say? But my book, Uncontrollable Control, online everywhere, Walmart, Amazon, Lulu. You Google me, it comes up. Literally, I'm everywhere. Yes, get it. And I still have to send Angela one because Angela, you are in the acknowledgments. You see me busy, so I keep doing a lot of things, but I'm going to send her one. But life kept on going, and I kept on doing. I kept doing. I kept doing. I kept doing. I kept going. I got an award eventually for what I went through. Somebody, apparently there was some kind of something going on in Cincinnati where they take people that have survived trauma and they honor them. When I got it, first I got nominated. My wife nominated me, and I was like, for a second, I was like, I shouldn't be nominated for suffering. There's plenty of people before me that have suffered and they don't recognize. So to me, I was like, I don't want that. And then I thought about it, and I accepted it on behalf of all of those that weren't recognized. So I started embracing the things that God started saying, hey, you've been through, so this. So I kept going, I kept going. I can't stop and I won't stop. It's not in me. And it's not because, well, I'm a man and no, because I literally am, number one, what most of the church hates, talks about, doesn't like. People say, they pray, Lord, thank you for waking me up in my right mind. I wake up to a whole bunch of different voices, a whole bunch of minds. Thank you that I'm not this, that, the next. I don't agree with a lot of what the church does. And I'm a pastor and I don't care because I break things down. But I keep climbing and I keep going. Always knowing in the back of my head, hearing, I'm the devil. Every time you try to succeed, I'll be there to make you fail. But I finally learned how to make the devil a liar and what it is I'm succeeding at. So I'm always going to succeed. I've always succeeded. I've always been a success. Period. Whether I've got $1 or $1 million, I am. Period. I am ERVIN Middleton Jr., pastor, author, actor, model, musician, singer, songwriter, law student, creator, artist, entrepreneur, king, God, you name it, I am. Why? The Almighty says I am. I am all of that and then some. Cocky, Conceited, and Convinced is a book I have coming out in 2024 because, yes, I am cocky, conceited, and convinced because I've been through hell to get the light that I shine today. There's a lot that don't like my light, so I shine brighter and brighter and brighter, and I'm never going to not shine. I do it without trying all the time. Then I started getting on my face because Miss Angela started this 121 days of prayer. Oh God. So I'm on my face every morning. Now, I didn't go all the way through, but 5 o'clock, I'm on my face. I'm on my face. I'm on my face. I'm praying. I'm praying. I'm praying. Now I don't do it at 5 o'clock every morning on the floor, but now prayer is like, it's like breathing. It's like, gotta do it. Then I got into meditating. Then I got into crystals. And I got into the scriptures. And I got into, and it's just like doors are opening up left, right, here, 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 here. Now I won't tell you that ain't no struggles. Oh, I got them. I got them. I know sometimes we say we won't complain. There's times, yes, I do. I'll be complaining actually because God knows me. I'm like, listen, God, yeah, listen. And I cuss, not curse, cuss. Because if I curse you, I promise you generations will feel it. I just cuss. It is what it is. That's me. I don't fake the funk. I don't sugarcoat. I'm very live. I'm very blunt, but I'm also loving and caring at the same time. Just like the Almighty. Loving, caring, great. Don't get on my bad side because I got ancestors and I say and I pray and I'm in and if I go quiet, it's not pretty. So you want me talking. And that's me,
Well, I
everybody.
definitely, your journey has definitely been amazing, and just to see that you were able to get that book out, you are definitely setting the path for a lot of people, because I look back on my journey and the things that I've had to endure. You know, my journey, I cannot compare to your journey, but I can see some of the similarities, and I thank God that we had these journeys, because it's through these journeys that we
Mhm.
were able to experience some things. We were able to overcome some things so that we could help educate, empower, and encourage somebody else. And it's only
Yep.
through those experiences and us living, because people can tell us all day long how things worked out for them,
Mhm.
how things have worked out for other people. But we're all different. We all have
Yep.
different paths. We all different genetic makeup, DNA makeup. So
Mhm.
everything's not gonna always work the same. So we
Right.
all have to try. And
Yep.
I tell people all the time, you're not going to succeed at everything that you try. It's okay to fail. And it's
Mhm.
okay to not be okay. So
Yes.
when you know the difference, and when you know better, you can do better. And I
Mhm.
definitely applaud you for all that you have done, for the example that you are leading, and the path that you are setting for so many to come behind you. Thank you. I tell you, transparency and being able to be transparent, not caring about what nobody thinks, so that you
Mhm.
can heal. Huh. That word heal, people got to truly understand what it means to not allow hindrance
Mhm.
to cause you to walk in an ego, because you got an attitude that keeps you from loving. You
Yes.
want to heal, stop allowing hindrance to cause
Mhm.
you to have an ego and an attitude that stops you from loving, because love covers a multitude of sin. Love draws.
Yep.
I
Sure
tell you,
does.
I have truly been blessed on tonight. I thank the Creator for you and all that you're doing. So
And I
how
thank
can
you. I thank Father, Mother, Goddess of everything for you because you had a huge hand in this. They don't Queen of Collaboration. You got the right name because yeah.
so how can people connect with you and support the amazing things that you're doing?
Um, you can go on my Facebook under me, Irvin Middleton, with an E. That's E-R-V as in Victor, I-N as in Nancy, Middleton. There's two of us. Look for on my page. I've got Bipolar Warrior on there, and I think I got my granny on there. But I'm on Facebook. I'm also I'm on YouTube under Healing Jelani Kosei Raekwon, which is another altar I created. It's on YouTube. Um, I'm co-creator of Scratch Made Comedy LLC, which we just created a month ago. It's a comedy show. Our first show is on the 20th. So get your tickets now at Eventbrite. Look us up. That's on my Facebook. My book, Uncontrollable Control, is you Google my name, it'll come up. It's at Walmart, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, books, literally all over the world, everywhere. I'm also at King Middleton, that's KingMiddleton, the number 35 at gmail.com. That's how I respond mostly is email. And look for my label, Musexual Entertainment. I just created LLC, coming very, very soon because I am an artist. So if you want some music, listen, I'm your guy. I'm a creator. Um, so yeah, I would give out my phone number. Actually, I can't give my phone number. I don't care. My number is 253-331-9378. Now you may have to leave a message or a text because I do a lot. I start law school on the 23rd. I've got my first show on the 20th. I got surgery on the 30th. So I'm doing a lot. However, contact me. I will connect eventually, but that's how you can find me. And then, oh, and one other thing. Keep watching the movies because I'm also an actor with Geechee One Productions. Shout out Felicia Rivers with Geechee One Productions. I'm in 3 movies coming out next year. So yeah, I'm already universal. I haven't even left Charleston, and it hasn't even been 2 years yet.
Wow, I tell you, at the power of networking, collaborating, and coming together. I tell you, the pandemic has truly been good to some people, and have
Yeah.
taught some people a lot. Where some people were getting frustrated and getting deterred. Um, I tell you, the creator, he stirred up those gifts in a lot of people. You know, some of us
Mm-hmm.
just needed to be reminded of those gifts and those talents that we were already equipped with, because everything that we need is already in us, and people got to understand that. I tell you, we
Yep.
out here trying to discover something when all you got to do is tap in to
Happening.
what's already in you. Everything you need
Yeah.
is already in you. You have the power to
Mm-hmm.
manifest it in your life. That's how
Yep.
I keep telling people, you have that power. You have
Mm-hmm.
that power to manifest in your life. All you got to do is position yourself to be an overcomer by being a willing vessel to empower others through your resistance. It's not that will in the will, he will not let you give up because you are
Yeah.
called to this. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for stopping by and sharing with me on tonight. I truly have been blessed. I hope those that are tuning in have been blessed. I pray that they would share this with someone in their circle. I'm excited because this will be aired on iHeart and so many other platforms. So if you are an iHeart listener, please make sure that you download 122 authors from around the world. It is a podcast. Go ahead and download it so that you can hear this nice interview as well as the other 121 authors that's going to grace the platform. So, again, I thank you for being my special guest on tonight. Anything
Ashe.
that you would like to leave with the listeners before we leave?
Yes. First, I've got to catapult my wife up, Patrice Middleton, because honestly, without her, God hadn't got me to her. Literally none of this. It literally her. So y'all find her. She does paparazzi. She's a book reviewer. She's a boss. So, and then second, don't let anybody tell you who you are and how you should move. It's okay to take advice from this person, this one, and that's what it is, advice. But at the end, you literally are the captain of your own ship. And for me, it's find whatever is easy. I know they always say go, that life is hard. That find what's easy. Because when you find what's easy and you go in there, then all the hard stuff will flow to you, become easier. And that's what I did. So don't let nobody stop you or tell you, well, you can't, or do some slide laughing at you. Oh, I see your little business. Because no, it's not little. Everything you do is big. And you never really fail. All you do is you try and it doesn't work out that way. But you can create it to do it your way. So there's not just one way to take over the universe. And me, I didn't want to take over the world. I just wanted to control mine. But always remember that it's uncontrollable. So let go and let flow.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You have a great rest of your evening. Be
You as
blessed.
well. Be blessed. You too. Okay, how do I get out of here?
All right, all right. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Up Close and Personal with Angela. If you can hang around a little longer, I'll be right back. I have another very special guest that's going to be stopping by. Y'all, we're showcasing 122 amazing authors from around the world. So no telling who you may meet right here on this network. So stay tuned. I tell you, I was blessed on tonight. I hope you was blessed.